Welcome and thank you for joining us in this video today. We're going to talk about Blue River Organic Soybeans. My name is Mac Ehrhardt. I'm chairman of Albert Lee Seed, and I'm joined today by Jake Hansen. Jake, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Mac. Like you said, my name is Jake Hansen. I've been with Albert Lee Seed for 15 years this summer. And for about the last 10, I've been serving as our corn and soybean product manager, working very closely with Mac, building this portfolio, selecting products, testing products that we feel are really going to perform well on organic acres. And we're pretty proud of the lineup that we're able to present to you today.
Thanks, Jake. In this section, we're going to talk about Blue River Organic Soybean Seed from 1.9 to 2.2. Not a very big range there because we have, frankly, too many products in this maturity. But it's hard to pull them apart because there's reasons to carry each one. And if you're interested in earlier soybeans or later soybeans or Viking conventional soybeans, we have lots of other videos available for you to watch. You can also call your dealer or give us a call at Albert Lee Seed.
All right, we'll start it off with a couple of real strong performers here. First one being the 19B5. We're going into year 2 with this variety. It is a dark hilum, just a feed grade type, medium tall. It does branch out very well. It fills a row quite nicely. Maintains its height and standability very, very well. Everywhere I looked at it in 2024, it wasn't, the tops of the plant weren't even bowing over. So this thing has tremendous standability, and its ability to move in and out of zone is quite well. You can take this one into that 1.5 maturity range as a full season. It's going to hold on quite well. We've seen this one down as far south as Ames, Iowa, doing the same thing. Maintained its height, maintained its branching ability, and overall plant health is exceptionally well. The stress tolerance on it is really a nice step up from where we've been with things in the past. So you just notice this one here. Both of these actually have that 140,000 seeds per unit range. You'll notice a couple other varieties that we carry are in the 110. And I'll let Mac explain that here a little bit more.
Yeah, and I'll jump in on the second bean. So 19B4A, the reason you'd plant that is if you have regularly experienced problems with soybean aphids in your organic crop production, because it has that RAG2 aphid tolerance for good aphid resistance. It's not bulletproof. The aphids can mutate around it after 2 or 3 weeks. But in general, during that real heavy aphid period, it's resistant to the aphids, and it's going to give you additional yield in there if they're heavily infested. It's a direct replacement for the one that we carried for at least a decade called 1955. It yields more, it stands better, it has better agronomics, so it was a real no-brainer for us to add it. However, if you don't consistently have a problem with aphids, the 19B5 is simply going to yield more. It's probably going to add 10%, I don't know, maybe that's an exaggeration, but routinely it's going to add 3 to 5 bushels an acre. So if you don't have an aphid problem, go with the 19B5.
Yeah, and you mentioned the yield on it, Mac. Just a little snippet from last year. As you can see, that 19B5 added a couple of bushels on average, but there was a few locations where it was really jumping up in terms of overall yield. So overall performance is very well compared to a Virtue 21-22 that we've had in the past. As you can see, it's adding 2 bushels to that. The 19B5, actually, both of these are a little bit higher in yielding. But I think with that 19B4 having that aphid tolerance, 19B5 just being your overall solid yielder, I think they're a good punch there.
Yeah, I just said I think Jake just said it. So in very high yield environments, the 19B5 is going to pull away.
Yeah.
In any environment where there's aphid pressure, obviously the 19B4 is going to have an advantage.
Yep. And then moving on to the old standby with the E1993. This has been around, Mac, how long? 9 years?
Yeah, it's an old John Schillinger emerge variety that we brought back from the dead because Menno Borntrager claimed it was the best organic bean to plant. So we brought it back, and in fact, it has done a really good job on organic farms. It just it's a nice big bushy plant that really shades the row, and it's done a really good job on organic farms. A couple of things about it. it's getting out yielded by some of the beans around it. As you saw in the last slide, it was losing 4 or 5 bushels to the 19B5. Another thing about it is it's extremely large seeded, so it often comes in, this year it comes in 110,000 seed unit, which means you're paying more money for seed if you do the math. And so a couple knocks against it, but honestly, the on-farm performance on organic farms has been hard to beat, and so we continue to carry it. Right next to it, we have the IAS 19C3. This is a specialty variety released by Iowa State. It's a yellow hilum. It's near food grade, or it is a food grade bean, but it's not going to give you usually it's not going to be above a 42% protein. Am I right about that, Jake? I think it's more like a 40
yeah, yep, about a 40.5 to near 42 average is where it comes in. Yep.
So if your food buyer needs to have 42% or higher, this one you couldn't rely on for that. What you can rely on it to do is yield like crazy, because it has it's kept up with some of the best beans on non-yellow hilum, non-high protein beans in its maturity. And you'll notice that if you read the variety name, which is the Iowa State variety number, it looks like it's a 1.9. Our experience of this soybean for several years is that it's not a 1.9. It is a 2.1. So it does its best work really a little bit south of that 1.9 maturity range. That's where it really performs for yield. If you need a yellow hilum, high protein bean and that 2.1 maturity, this is an excellent choice for top end yield. It is a variety that does require you to sign a license before we deliver the seed. And when you order your seed, we will email you a form on which you can click and sign the license. Another thing, both these beans are that 110,000 seeds per unit. So be aware that when you order your seed, it's not a bag per acre or 1.2 bags per acre. You really have to do the math to make sure you end up with enough seed.
Thanks, Mac. Jumping into one of our, if not our top seller, with the 2155. This is another just tremendous top end yield potential, excellent defensive bean to a lot of different diseases, white mold, IDC, SDS has been pretty strong on this one too, sudden death. As far as maturity, it does flex its maturity a little bit, as we say in that last bullet point. If it's a little bit further north into kind of late group 1 maturity range, it acts more like a 2.1, but as we push it south, we've seen this one actually act almost like a 2.4 in some areas. So it does flex its maturity based on its environment a little bit, but that hasn't held it back. It's still been one of our most consistent top yielders across a wide range of soil types, a wide range of environments, east to west, north to south. This one just keeps doing a lot of good things, particularly on organic farms, gets out of the ground quickly, shades a row fairly quickly, and stands all season long. This is one that we can regularly count on to be just that nice steady performer on organic farms. Next up, the 2244 at a 2.2. This one I feel is more true to maturity compared to the one before it, but it sometimes has come just a touch earlier. One benefit you're going to pick up with this one, as we say in that first point, Reg 1 and Reg 2, you're picking up multiple modes of action against aphids with this variety, and it yields right with the 2155, right with some things around it at a 2.4. I've been very, very pleased with this one. I just talked with a customer here yesterday that really loves this bean around Titonka, Iowa. He's never seen an aphid problem in an area where aphids have been prevalent in the past. But good standing, this is one that actually, like I said, yields right with a lot of things, so that aphid tolerance isn't dragging it back or holding it back at all in terms of yield. So it's another one, if you know you've got aphids, you can plant this one with good confidence that you're going to help hold them aphids off, plus still be bringing a lot of yield to the table.
Thanks, Jake. All right, that concludes this section on Blue River Organic Soybeans from a 1.9 to a 2.2. If you'd like to learn about earlier soybeans or later soybeans, please click on one of our other videos, or give your dealer a call. You can look them up on our website, or give us a call at Albert Lee Seed, and we'd also be happy to help you.